During our trip to Concord Monday, we also talked with Nebraska Extension soil scientist Charles Shapiro. Through multi-year studies, researchers there are looking at phosphorus use in corn to determine if higher rates improve yields. We started our discussion with Charles by asking about the purpose of phosphorus in crop production.
Well, phosphorus is one of the essential elements, of course, and it's involved in the metabolic processes, the growth and the energy. You may remember from high school biology or something, ATP, it's involved in that. From a practical point of view, it helps the plant grow early, it makes grain, so that's why we use it.
Tell me what you're looking at in terms of how much is useful to corn production.
Well, for the last 50, 60 years since they invented soil testing, the big question is when you should add phosphorus or not to the soil. And we've done a lot of work over the years to calibrate that. The university recommendation is a 15 number, but not everybody agrees with that. So we started in the year 2000 to answer the question, can you get higher yields if you build your soil test up higher? With new yields going into the 200 plus range, so everyone said, well, you did that in the 40s and the 50s, it's a new world now. So we have various check plots, but we basically have a 15, which is the university, a 30 and a 45. And then over time, we've put on phosphorus to maintain those soil test levels, and then we just grow the corn.
What's the difference in those three treatments that you can notice on plants? Well,
we have some examples here, and where we don't put any phosphorus, it's stunted. The traditional phosphorus deficiency symptom is a purpling. We don't see that too often, but when we look at the plants, you'll see that they're smaller, they're not as green, and they're not as far along in maturity. It's really hard to see a 10 bushel difference in a plant, but I pulled out some plants, one from the university recommendation and one from that 45.
And what's the difference in those two?
I can see a little greener in the 45, it's a little bigger. It's not that far ahead yet, just about tasseling. But what we really want to look at is at the end of the season, how much phosphorus it takes and what the yield differences are.
So what do the results show? Are there clear differences in the treatments that you're looking at in yield results?
Yeah, we're finding, of course, that where we don't put fertilizer or we only put nitrogen, the yields are depressed. And the difference between the 15, the 30, and the 45, we get them some years. There's probably a 5-6 bushel difference between the university recommendation and the very high phosphorus rate.
Does that lean you to go off the university recommendation or no?
No, because we put on a lot more phosphorus to get the 3 bushels. Now, if you were a cattle producer and you're giving me the phosphorus, I would go with a little higher level, but it takes about 3 times as much. So this is dry land, it's not the best soil. We average close to 100 pounds of P2O5 to keep that 45, and we're averaging about 33 for the Bray 15 university recommendation. So 5 bushels, 60 pounds of P2O5, it all depends on the prices.